We are here at the Honda service by ASKO Group, which is located near Bucharest, and I have to say I'm really glad on how these people are actually treating the customers. I'm really pleased and surprised to see their opening, their transparency, and yeah, I'm come here to change and to mount the rally kit. We're gonna film all this procedure step by step. We're gonna show you how this kit is mounted. We have the quick shifter, the rally step, the engine guard, the engine skid plate, the hand guards, and we're gonna try to show you in detail how is it done. Some procedures are easy, some need some special attention. Therefore, if you want to do it by yourself, I think it's important to have a professional professional people which are actually show you. I come here with all my confidence, and I'm sure that at the end of these videos you will have proper guidance on mounting this rally kit. As you will see, this procedure takes some time. It's not very hard, but it takes quite some time. I would say a few hours, 1, 2, 3 hours, depending on your skills. But yeah, I suggest, highly suggest that if you're not, let's say, prepared, or you don't have the necessary skill, please come to the dealer. We have here the ASKO Honda service by ASKO here in close to Bucharest. I think it's one of the best guys around here that can help you and guide you through this process of mounting accessories on the bike. And not only, I think for a customer, let's say as I am, it's very important to find out here in the service this transparency, you know. This transparency, I think, should exist in all services. Doesn't matter if it's for auto, for moto. As transparent as you are, as you know, as open as you are, you gain your customer confidence. Creates a long-term relationship when it comes to this customer service. And with these motorcycles nowadays, which have a lot of electronics, which they are not so simple as they used to be. Sometimes you know, you have to admit that at least at the beginning, when you don't know the bike, where you try to familiarize yourself with the bike, it's better to come to the dealer to check it out and see how the bike works, see its you know, this mounting procedure for different accessories. It's better to take it step by step since the beginning. And why not, if you gain some experience and you are confident on what you're doing, then you can do it yourself. We have this kind of videos to guide you or to help you if you really want to make it yourself. Perhaps at the beginning you will spend more time, but after a while you will get you know, more experienced, and you can actually short the service time for yourself. Also consider that you need the special tools if you want to make some of these procedures. You should be aware of the proper tools which you have to use in order to make a good service, or in order to mount all the accessories as they should be mounted.
Welcome back to the quick shifter install tutorial for the Honda Transalp XL750. We have here the installation instruction first, so we'll just take a look at them and try to respect some of the recommendations which are presented here. So we have the quick shifter, the accessory name, the part number, and also important informations which I highly recommend you read it. So we have some warning, caution notices, and refers to the manual also. First of all, we have also the torque information, which is included in the manual, but it will be provided during the installation video. So please check it out during the video. And let's check out the first part of the rally kit, which is the quick shifter. The quick shifter comes, as you already saw the unboxing, it comes with different pieces, different parts. Let's check them out. We have the gear change arm, the tie rod bolt, stroke sensor, 735mm socket bolt, collar, a 7mm flange nut, clip band, a stay, and 6 40mm SH flange bolt. So here they are on the left side. You can take a look at the parts. You already saw it on my unboxing presentation. And let's start with the installation. First, this is just an installation guide. This is not the service manual. This installation guide link, you have it inside the QUICKSHIFTER box, and you can download it from the website. So what we first have to do, it's disconnect the negative cable from the battery before we start working on the QUICKSHIFTER. Then we have to remove some parts. Actually, the original gear shifter lever, gear shifter pedal needs to be removed. Also, we have to remove this plastic part, which keeps all the cables in place and covers part of the gear shift pedal. Also, we have some you have to fix the harness as shown, cut off the excess end of the wire tire, leaving a maximum of 5mm. You can afterwards pause the video and take a better look at this installation instructions. Let's proceed. We have to install the parts of the QUICKSHIFTER before we mount it. We have to install it as shown in the picture. And then we have to install this bracket on the upper side. Then we have to pull the harness out and connect it as shown. You can see here on the left side. And on the right side we have a CKP sensor connector, which has to be removed, has to be disconnected first. And also we have a dummy connector, which is placed on the left side. As you will see in the installation video, we have to take it out. And here we're gonna place the new connector from the gear shifter. Then we install back the harness in the reverse order of removal and install the sprocket cover in the reverse order of removal. So actually this plastic which we saw here is the sprocket cover. We're speaking about this plastic over here, the sprocket cover. And basically these are the steps which we're gonna follow in this video. Then we have to mount on the bracket the rest of the cables. We have to reuse one bolt for the gear shifter in the upper part. Align. We have to align on the right side. You can see there is a dot, and we have to align it with that spot over there. And the most important, measure the length of the gear shift arm, which you have to measure it precisely. We have here the correct measurements. Take your time and try to be as close as possible to the right measurements. Of course, according to your dimensions, to your measurements, you can actually readjust it afterwards. We have some nuts which we're gonna reuse. And here we have to adjust the same height as the original pedal position if possible. And then we have to install the motorcycle parts in the reverse order of removal. You must confirm that any harness is not caught or too tight. Harness means the cables, they have to be not too tight and to have some free play. After we install the mechanical part of the QUICKSHIFTER, then we need to activate it. We have to open the seat and connect the SCS shore connector. This connector, you will find it either at the dealer, at the Honda dealer, and you can buy it actually if you want to make it for yourself, this procedure. after we are entering in the setting mode, it is quite simple. We go to equipment, quick shifter, we put it on, we turn the ignition switch off and remove the SCS short connector. And of course we need to initialize the quick shifter afterwards. Open the seat, connect the SCS short connector, turn the ignition switch on with the engine stop switch run, but does not start the engine. Push and hold the right select switch to enter the setting mode. Service, quick shifter initialize and initialize OK. Preparing for initialization. Start the engine and let it idle. Hold the neutral gear position. Wait until switch to the display shown. Do not touch the pedal. And you will find a message with initialize succeeded. If the initialization failure, you have to restart the initialization again. If you don't manage it, you have to repeat the initialization to check the mounting state of the stroke sensor. Turn the ignition switch off and remove the SCS connector. This connector, I repeat, you find it at the Honda dealer. You can buy it or you go to the dealer to make this procedure for you.
It's time to install the rally pack on the Transalp. We'll take it step by step. First, we're gonna install the quick shifter, then some parts of the knuckle guard, the foot pegs, and then we're gonna move to the skid plate and the engine protection bars. I'm really glad to see a lot of transparency here at the Honda service by ASKO group. If you're located in Bucharest or you are actually passing, transitating, it's a perfect spot to come here. The guys are just amazing. It's really important to give to the customer this feeling of being welcome, of showing total transparency, taking a look at the bike. We have here windows. People, they actually can see their bike, they can see the mechanics working on their bike, and you have this this friendly approach, which I think it's really important in these days, and these can actually make a difference. It's for me, from my side, a big thumbs up for the Honda ASKO service. We're starting to mount the quick shifter. First, we have to loose the bolts. The cable which connects the quick shifter to the computer comes underneath this plastic part, which needed to be taken off. So we take off this plastic part and then try to insert this cable underneath it. We need to lose the bolt in order to take out easily this bracket which actions the gear shifter. Easily unscrew this bolt. And now we are removing this plastic cover, which is located on the left side, close to the gear shifter. This additional quick shifter support for the cable. This is the quick shifter support bracket. This is the quick shifter bracket which needed to be mounted extra. There's another screw on the back side. Please don't forget it. It's on the left side. You have to take out also this one. This should be covered and unseen by the cables. So it's just over there. To have access to it, you have to take out the cable, which are sticked together. And then there is space to unbolt the last one.
Da. De asta prefer să nu iau cu...
What we recommend is to leave the bike to chill out for a while, because due to the heat, the bolts could be dilated, and it's easier to take them out when the engine is cold. This plastic has some pins, and it's quite easy afterwards to take it out with care. Don't rush. And this is the plastic. This is the plastic cover. Let's take a look. For the moment it's very clean. I wonder how it will be after a few hundred kilometers in the dirt, or it has quite a decent quality. And also this metal part which protects it in case you're tied it up. This stopper, you have to check out its position. This is the right position. You have to check it out in the manual. We have the shown instructions provided for you also. So as you can see here, install as shown. This is number 6, which we have here. So number 6, install as shown. And now gently we put it back. Basically we took out all this plastic to put this bracket over here, the upper bracket. So actually we took out this plastic only to put the upper bracket to install it. Quite a big job for a small piece to be mounted. It's very important to put the bracket correctly, because otherwise the quick shifter could not work properly, because here we have a sensor. And this sensor, it's quite important for a proper quick shifting. Plus, another thing which makes this bracket so important is that the cable could rub itself and get damaged during usage. The same procedure with this bracket, it's used also for the Honda Hornet. So I will recommend to be very careful when mounting yourself this quick shifter, because there are some details which actually can make the difference. You can tie it up not so strong by hand. You feel it. This is what we have left to mount from the quick shifter. We put it here together. The bracket, 2 bolts. We had to reuse this one. You have to keep it, the one which is connected to the gear shifter. This bolt. Please keep the original one, because it's not provided a new one in the kit. This zip tie which will connect the cables. This zip tie will connect this part over here from the cables. To bring the cables much closely, we have then to open this one to be able to pull the cables to the right side. Underneath these plastics over here. Yeah, we have to arrange these cables in order to be able to connect the quick shifter connection to the computer. Alright, we take out this one. This is the connection for the sensor CKP. We don't know exactly what this means, but yeah, this is the sensor which we had to disconnect in order to make rooms for the cables inside. Here you say on the mounting procedure, here you can see, first disconnect the CKP sensor connector as shown from the right side, and we have to reach this connection which is on the left side. Asta e pe partea stângă, mufa asta.
Era pe centru.
Și este pus un dummy, cum ar veni.
Da.
And this is the dummy connection. You can check it out by this green dots. This was the dummy connection which was placed here. We took it out and make room for the new connection of the quick shifter. First we have the bolt which comes there. There is a pin. There is a pin over there on this sprocket. You can see it. And the pin needs to be aligned with this spacer around here. So maybe you can check it out. After it's aligned, you can tighten up the bolt. The there at the joint needs to be in the middle. There's no specific instructions to grease this joint here from the quick shifter. If we're thinking that if we grease it, then we attract more and more mud over there, and then it will be difficult to clean it afterwards. And now we connect the pins where the dummy connection was, and this is it. We connect the quick shifter cable. Pe partea cealaltă faci ceva? And now to pull the connector on the right side, you need to play a little bit with the cables. Deci conectorul tragi spre mijloc, nu? Da. The joint needs to be put back on the position on the right side.
Retrag la locul lui. Conectăm asta la loc.
We put this back and maybe we take out the joint and move it in the middle. So the correct position of the cable, it's underneath the battery. This is the place where the battery is, and the cable should be underneath the battery inside. I hope you are able to see better. I try to film as good as possible. So underneath the battery you can see where the red dots are. You can see there the connection. Now we put the zip tie. Și ăsta leagă cablurile, nu le ține împreună.
Nu, doar ăsta trebuie să-l pun.
Doar ăsta, doar cablul de...
Da, doar ăsta ca să fie pe poziție, să aibă un free play.
The zip tie needs to be placed on the quick shifter cable on that indicated position for the free play. Deci ca să aibă un joc, nu?
Da, să nu stea nici în tensiune, dar nici...
It should have this free play not to be too tight or too loose. Okay. So we tied up with the zip play to have proper free play. This quick shifter cable, we connected to that bracket with the zip tie. Perfect.
Stai să tai asta.
And here there is another tight up the cables. You just press it and it's connected.
Acum trebuie să ne luăm dimensiunea.
And now we have to measure it. We have the correct measurements displayed on the installation instructions. And here we have the installation instructions when we have these measurements: 98 millimeters, then 10 millimeters, 12 millimeters on the bottom, another 5.5 millimeters and 6.5 millimeters on the upper side. We have these correct measurements around here. So 98 millimeters you have to measure between these two nuts, the upper and the bottom nut, for proper quick shifting. So 98 millimeters is the standard measurement, but this can also be adjusted according to the rider. And then on this part we should have 6.6 millimeters. After you put 98 millimeters, it's quite a challenge to tighten it up, because you don't have a counterbolt to stick on it and to tighten it. You need to keep it by hand and tighten it up. So 98 millimeters starting from here up to here. Da. And now we have to tighten up these ones.
Oricum el trebuie să aibă un free play.
Da.
Și acum trebuie să strângem pe asta.
Da. And at the end we tied up the last bolt. Just a small tip: it's better to put with some white writing with a pen to mount and to show exactly where the bolt is, where the washers are, just to be sure that you check them out. And also you can verify it afterwards to see if from the vibrations these nuts are getting loose. This is a small tip. So use a pen, a white pen, somehow to mark where you've mounted, and after you mounted, you can actually use this mark. And now, after installing the quick shifter, we need to activate it from the dashboard. Check out the quick shifter. Looks very nice, and especially it's not the looking but the functionality. I've tested it on the Honda Hornet on the racing track, and I was really impressed. But I need to give a feedback also to this one after using it for a couple of times. To activate the quick shifter, you need to connect a pin underneath the seat. First, you have to open the seat and connect the CSC short connector to actually activate and be able to choose the option of the activating the quick shifter from the dashboard. And then there are these procedures. Open the seat and connect the SCS short connector, then turn the ignition switch on with the engine stop switch run, but does not start the engine. Push and hold the select right switch to enter the setting mode, and from here the things are going easily. But first, let's see where we connect the SCS connector. This is the SCS, this is where we put the SCS connector. This is the cable which is located. This is a diagnose cable connection. From here you can connect to the bike and have a diagnose made by the dealer.
Și de aici îl băgam în dealer mode, deci teoretic fără să fie în dealer mode, dar nu printr-un test. Pentru o multă,
Da.
Nu pot să activez quick-shifter.
The quick shifter cannot be activated without entering in the dealer mode by connecting to this connection. Either you come to the dealer to activate it, or you buy the SCS connection. De unde o cumpără?
Tot de la dealer.
This SCS connection, you can buy it from the dealer. You buy it from the dealer, and they will instruct you to make it yourself. Otherwise, you cannot activate the quick shifter. So our suggestion is to come here at Honda by ASKO in the service, buy this connection, and then you can activate the quick shifter. So this is the connection, the SCS small connection which you connect it and use it for installing and activating the quick shifter. You put it here, and now you can activate the quick shifter. Let's check it out. Maintenance. Uite acum. Quick shifter initialize. Quick shifter, and now you have the options to put it on.
Aici pot de asemenea activa grip heater-ul și
Da.
le montez.
For sure, here you can activate also the grip heater and fog lights. Preparing for initialization. And the thickness of the quick shifter, it's recommended to put it as high as possible. The reaction of the quick shifter should be placed at maximum in order to protect the clutch. Preparing for initialization. And now the quick shifter, it's initialized. You have received the message initialize succeeded. Now we take off the connector. After the quick shifter, it's initialized.
Plasticine atinse sunt toate rigele. L-ați lăsat?
Da, uite-l. Și este mult mai lejer, știi?
Bine, bine să...
The next accessory from the rally kit which we're gonna install, it's the knuckle guard extension. We have the knuckle guard and the knuckle guard extension. This is not so hard as it seems. We have also the torque information, and here is the part list. And here is the part list. What we have here, the components of this knuckle guard and knuckle guard extension. A lot of bolts, knuckle holders, nylon washers, screws, handle weight, knuckle guard rubber, flange bolt, and so on, collar. So we have all the parts here. You can actually pause the video and check them out. And these are the parts, and here is the extension. The extension is actually the white plastic component of the handlebar or knuckle guard. It's a quite simple one. And what we have to do is take off the left mirror. We have to remove these parts. We have to loosen 2 bolts. Then we take out the mirror, install the knuckle guard, as you see in the picture. This is the order of the parts to assembly. This will be shown precisely in the video that will follow. You have here also the torque, 0.6 Newton meters for the bolts. Here is the extension, also 0.6 Newton meters to tighten up the bolts. It's quite simple, but it takes some time, you know. It takes some time, and also you need to be quite careful when you mount all the bolts and the washers and so on. This is for the right side, knuckle guard with a knuckle guard extension for the Honda Transalp 750. All right. Then we put back on the left side the mirror. This is the explosion of the parts, of the mounting parts. As you can see here, you have also to remove the end of the handlebar. This one, it's from what I found out, they are heavier, and being heavier, they actually are balancing the motorcycles. They are heavier and they give more balance, especially in the front side. You can check it out. We have to reuse, of course, some parts. This is the right side. Some nut we're gonna reuse. We also have to grease this upper nut, the number 15. It's better to grease it because this will come out here and also keeps the brake lever in place, as it's shown in the picture also. This is how it looks with the knuckle guard extension. All right, and basically this is it.
Now we're moving forward to mount the knuckle guard and the knuckle guard extension. On the left side we have to take out the mirror.
I-a pus loc pe aici.
Da, posibil.
Loc aici, la...
Pressure need to be applied. And you see how it is when you have the proper tools. And also you protect the end of the screw because you're using the right side, you're using the right size for the hammer. This bracket is from metal. Thankfully, we have quite a lot of plastics on these handguards. Of course, I'll provide all the instructions for the installation of these handguards and for the rally pack in general. This will be attached in the video before each procedure, just to have a clear picture of the mounting instructions. Now the next step, we are mounting the assembly, the knuckle guard, after we put also the end of the handlebar, the washers, the bolts. We just take out the bolt It's easier on the right side when we compare with the left side. It's better to grease these connection bolts. We've mounted this washer, the rubber washer that comes underneath this knuckle guard, and then the bolt.
Pe deasupra.
Trebuie să vină pe deasupra, da. These ends of the handlebar, these ones, are heavier, and actually these are helping, especially when you have a top case or when you have weight on the lower side. For example, when you have a passenger or when you have some luggage, this heavier and handlebars are actually helping to balance the bike. They balance the bike, even they have a few hundred grams more than the original ones. We are changing this upper bolt. It comes a new one. It's different than this small original. It's normal. Da.
Așa. Și aici e cu... Să te joci un pic cu...
Mai sus, mai jos al handlebarului. I would like also to move slightly the handlebar position, to put it more with 1 centimeter through the dashboard, just to make the standing position on the bike much more comfortable with the arms bended, because I check it out on my videos, and when I was in the upright position, the elbows were not bended, they were straight. So I prefer to modify only with 1 centimeter. Au luat-o? Da. To modify the handlebar position, actually you have to take out all the 4 bolts, because there are some strays inside, and you cannot twist it so easily. We managed to untie them, and now we will rotate no more than 1 centimeter, because I would like to check it out. We cannot also make it too much, because otherwise these handlebars, these handguards will touch the petrol tank. So we really need to take care about that. I just made it slightly in the upper position, and I would like to keep it max at this position. It's about half of centimeter or a few millimeters. First you have to tighten up the upper bolts, just to keep the handlebar in place. Highly recommend to tighten up with the proper torque specifications. According to the manual, we have to tighten up the handlebars screws with 32 Newton meters. So 32 Newton meters, it's the right torque. I highly recommend that you tighten up correctly, 32 Newton meters. Plenty of space also here on the left side for the handlebar. I'm really hoping that the aftermarket service handguards will have also enough space, or the Barkbusters or whatever brand I will choose as a main handguard, a proper one, the one with the metal, with aluminium reinforcement. So I'm really hoping that they will fit.
Aici mai trebuie un pic. Pentru că le-am lăsat...
ca să gata, acum se poate de final, da.
Ia să mă uit cât s-a dus bucșa înăuntru. Parfum, perfect. Ea trebuie să... Vezi?
Da, să aibă... Ai, că e destul de fixă. They seem pretty solid. Last part mounting the mirrors, especially the left one. And now we have only 2 bolts left to attach the deflectors, the handguard deflectors. Only at Honda you'll find on the parts left and right indicators, so you have an easy guess where the part comes. In most of the bikes you don't have this information. And this is the last part which we're gonna mount on the handlebars.
Când le strângi să fie apăsate, da?
Eu
Ca
un pic.
altfel îți trage jumătate din bucșa afară. Așa, dai, mai dai. Atât, asta e. Deci în momentul în care s-a umflat, uite, face un rotund de aici ca o bucșă.
Da.
Asta e.
Asta pentru?
Asta e genial.
And this was it. We will ride it, but of course this will be changed in the future.
Nu trebuie să fac asta. Pentru că
One of the easiest accessories to be mounted, it's of course the rally step. This is their code, and this procedure is actually straightforward. I will not lose your time to present it so detailed. So we have the right and left rally step arm and a split pin. You will see in the video how easy it is. Basically, we take out the original foot peg. We have to actually take it out. There is a pivot pin which we take it out. It's quite important to grease this pin in order to have a long life for the foot peg. We have the washer, the band, and a pivot pin. So we take it out. We have to reuse the washer and the spring. This will be reused, but they have a position that it's quite intuitive to put it back. And basically this is it. It's quite a simple one. Let's check it out.
We are moving to the next procedure of mounting the kit, mounting the rally foot pegs. We take out this bolt. It also has a washer inside. Să bag și pe aici. Și apoi apeși acolo, nu?
Da, păs și după aia trag.
Then you press on this one and then pull. Deci se trage acum, nu?
Da, ca să poată să iasă ușor.
You have to take it out. You take out the spring. Now we put the safety pin.
Poziția, nu?
And then we bend the safety pin. Also for the original foot pegs, you can take out the rubber by unscrewing this bolt over here. And yeah, but you can see the difference. This rally foot pegs are wider, much wider. They don't have a rubber, but still they're much wider, and you have more stability on the bike, especially when you're in the upper position. Ok, scos ăsta, a căzut asta și acum de unde împingi? Împingi de acolo. Then you push, take it out. And that's it. Da, domn. The spring, it's quite tough and it's really quality. It has a very tough spring. It's very quality made, man.
And now we have the installation of the engine guard. This is quite an important installation instruction, which I highly recommend that you read carefully and try to make it as precise as possible. So this engine guard, it's quite an important component of the rally pack for the Honda Transalp. We have the engine guard and the guard attachment. These are the codes, and let's proceed with some mounting instructions. First, we have the part list. We have to see what we have inside, as shown in the unboxing video, which I did a couple of days before. We have the right engine guard, the left one, cross plate, we have flange bolts, flange nuts, and also a clip. So basically there are two engine guards, one for the right and the one for the left. They are quite different on the brackets, so especially on the downside, you cannot mix it. And there is a cross plate which will connect these two engine guards together at the end of their installation. And basically we start with a guard attachment. These guard attachments are written on them. Not at many motorcycles you will find written on the parts which is for the left, which is for the right side. In the Honda they are written on the parts. So we have this important brackets which will be attached to the engine frame. Also quite important, the torque information which will be provided in the video that will follow this introduction of the installation procedure. Alright, we have the installation. What they say here, it's do not work on the left and right sides at the same time to avoid engine tilting. What we did, you will see in the video, we tried to work on each side separately, that's for sure. And we are actually preventing the engine tilting during our installation procedure. What we did, although it doesn't say here or it's recommended to do so, it's to take out the fenders. We actually have to take out the rear and the left fenders as presented in the video that will follow. Here it's the installation image afterwards. Let's move forward with some tips. So what we have here, it's the installation instruction, and we have the service manual. The service manual we will have access by filming it during our installation process. So you might want to check out the video that will follow this short introduction. We have here the brackets which will be installed, and yeah, as you can see, as you will see in the video, we have to be careful about the pipes. We have to really try to move them a little bit left and right to be able to mount properly all the bolts and brackets. Also, we have to take care about the clutch cable. We need the 5mm movement of the clutch cable after mounting on the right side this bracket. Also here you'll see, after we put these brackets, we put the actual engine protection. It's quite easy afterwards. Then comes this flange connecting the two pipes, and the rest of the job it's easy going. But let's start with a video presentation. To have access more easily to mount this skid plate and the engine protection bars, we're gonna remove the side fenders. Now we're mounting the skid plate and the engine protection bars. To open these side fenders, there are also some clips underneath. So check it out. Even if you open the bolts, if you take out the bolts, there are also some clips inside. So don't pull after you take out these bolts, because some clips are also inside. These fenders are not so easy to take it out. Some water helps sliding these plastics in order to protect damaging them. Very careful to these connections over here. These ones and these ones need to be saved
and not damaged.
Și de asta dăm apa, că uite, apa ajunge pe ele, vezi? Altfel nu alunecă.
Le culisezi un pic.
That's why here the water goes and helps sliding. This is a short, small tip and trick. And this is how the bike looks actually without the fender on plastic here. And now we have much better access to these bolts where we're gonna connect the pipes. These bolts are actually keeping the engine to the frame. They're fixing the engine to the frame. There are 3 bolts on each side which are actually connected, and other bolts on the back side. This is the difference between the old and the new bolt. As you can see, the screw, the old and new, these are the differences. It's recommended that you work each side individually. And now we're installing the first left bracket, which is attached to the engine, which is attached to the engine frame. We're also using this hydraulic riser to rise just slightly the engine to be able to work easily. So you now imagine this is not such an easy procedure, just mounting this rally kit. It may seem easy to do it, but it's actually not so easy if you don't have the proper tools. Știu, pare simplu, vezi, dar nu e chiar așa.
E solicitant, știi că trebuie să fii atent la detalii.
Okay, so now we have tightened up the bolts. Just to protect this plastic, you can keep it while you're tightening up to have an access with a key over here, not to scratch this or to damage this plastic protection for this rubber hose. It's better to keep it just a little bit like that and to have easy access with the key, with the hex key, to tighten up the bolts. So 44 Newton meters. Make sure you're using the proper torque key in order to tighten up with 44 Newton meters these 2 bolts. Removing the clips from underneath the side fenders. It's also a necessary procedure which you have to do it. This is the buffer, the sponge which protects against the vibrations. It's only one.
Vezi?
Yeah.
Acolo e super.
Here the access to the freezer, cables, and here we have the bolt. It's quite underneath this hose. These 2 bolts are underneath this hose. The access is not so easy to tighten it. Will be real fun to tighten it. We have 1 bolt here and the other one, it's just underneath the hose over here. To make more space, you can take out the cables with this pin. You can take out the cables which are connected here with this pin. There is this pin which is connected here, and then you make space for these bolts underneath this hose to be able to tighten it with the right torque, 44 Newton meters. These are small details which I think they are very important before you start mounting this rally kit by yourself. It's important to know these small tips and tricks. What we want is to get access to these 2 bolts. The underneath bolt, it's easy to access, and this one we have to somehow make space for it. This is it. Da. Take it. Yes. Yeah, it's not easy to open these bolts for the first time. 44 Newton meters, not easy to open at the first try.
freacă pe hârtie acum.
Iese.
Doar că e șurubul lung.
Now we'll put the bracket, the second bracket, the left one.
Acolo? Nu, trebuie să iei ușor, să
Da.
îți mănâncă mult săraci.
You need to really be patient. This is the word, patience, when mounting these brackets. This upper bolt, it's longer. So I repeat, take your time, because this bracket, it's not so easy to mount, especially the right bracket. You have this hose over here, which doesn't let you too much space. Oh, mam.
Mai dau o dată? Ale.
Da. Și acum ne mutăm jos?
Da. Amândoi?
Hai să văd unde este, că nu știu unde.
Îl simți. Ale.
Ia vezi.
Oricum e aproape.
Da.
Mai dau o dată? Mergem iar sus.
44 Newton meters. Oh, mam.
Mai dau o dată? Ale.
Da. Și acum ne mutăm jos?
Da. Amândoi?
Hai să văd unde este, că nu știu unde.
Îl simți. Ale.
Ia vezi.
Oricum e aproape.
Da.
Mai dau o dată? Mergem iar sus.
44 Newton meters. Gata. 44 Newton meters. Whew. This was not easy, man. I have to admit. And now at the end, we put back the cables on this small bracket. This is it. We put up this, and then we put the marking the fact that we tied up the bolts. A white marker helps all the time remind you that the bolts are tightened up properly. Another small detail is after you mount this right bracket, make sure that the clutch cable has some proper distance. They say 5 millimeters. They are saying 5 millimeters distance between the clutch cable and the bracket. So make sure that you tied up after you adjust this cable. So 5 millimeters, about 5 millimeters between the bracket and the clutch cable. We've just adjusted to make sure you have the space here. Changing the position here makes you adjust also the clutch from the lever. So make sure that you're both checking the adjustment on both parts after adjusting this clutch. We have the distance, everything is checked. We move forward. Most likely when you change the oil, we need to take down the bash plate, the skid plate. Now we're mounting the engine guards, the engine protection bars. We have to arrange also the bolts, the washers. There are plenty of them. Also some rubber parts. It's time to attach the engine guards. Even if it's not specified which is the right and left, they are different because the brackets are different, so you cannot be mistaken.
Dacă vrei să mai filmezi o dată ca să vezi. Așa cu fața mea acolo. Tot văd pe aici. Nu-i 12, am văzut bine.
Câte 12?
Da.
A 12 millimeter hex. It's required to tie up these bolts. About 10 kilos will be added to the bike by mounting this rally kit, but the good thing is that this weight comes mostly on the bottom of the bike, so it's actually makes a lower weight somehow moves the weight in the lower side, lower part. This is the, let's say, a positive thing. The negative is that 10 more kilos are added to the bike, and now we have about 218 kilos on the fully bike with all the liquids. This is the full weight of the bike, and we haven't still added the crash bar, the fenders protection. There is no specified torque. There is no specified torque measurement for these bolts, but we suggest putting at least 30 Newton meters. We're gonna use at least 30 Newton meters for these bolts. We have 44 for these two ones, and we're gonna put 30 Newton meters for both of these bolts. First we will put them together, approach them, and then at the end use the torque wrench. Let's use 35 Newton meters. Face clank la 35, a? Și asta de jos, nu?
Acum, face și acolo. Eu am pus un 35 acum.
So we have 35 Newton meters. Now on the right side, the same procedure, the same attachment. We have a different bracket. The space is not so much on the right side, that's obvious, but you can handle it. Tighten up the bolt step by step. Take your time, man. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry, because this you mounted probably one time, so make sure you make it properly. Back to 35 Newton meters as mentioned before for the left side.
Acum pot să stau și
Again, make your marks, so you can check out from time to time from vibrations. Could be that the bolts are getting loose. If you make these measurements, you can check them out and act. And now we have this reinforcement bracket, the big one, which is coming to connect the pipes. This is actually real nice. This is in tension. There is a tension, so you need to approach this bar. There is a solution for that. If you put a moderate pressure, then you can approach this reinforcement bar without any issues. To put this in place and then start tightening it up. At this point there is access to the oil filter. We have to check out for sure 100% after we mount the skid plate. Tied up progressively in order not to put too much pressure on this bar. We're gonna put also 35 Newton meters for these bolts. E setată la 35, nu? E setată la 35 pusă deja.
Da, pe de atunci nu mai... că ar veni 70.
Pe fiecare parte.
Da, deci
Mai mult decât decent.
și aici ai 105 total, plus încă 70.
Especially for these 4 bolts, it's highly recommended that you put some Loctite because of the vibrations you can encounter for these bolts to get loose. So highly recommended. Put some Loctite over here for these 4 bolts in order to prevent these bolts to get loose during usage.
The last accessory from this puzzle called the rally pack for the Honda Transalp, it's the skid plate. We have here the code for the skid plate. After we install the engine protection, after we install all the other accessories, quick shifter, rally packs, knuckle guard and so on, we have left the skid plate. So here's the part list. It's quite simple. We have the skid plate, we have 8 22mm socket bolts, washer collar and grommet. This actually grommet, this rubber grommet will be placed in the attachment brackets for the skid plate. And yeah, this process, it's quite easy, but it requires also some care. As you will see, we have the engine guard. You saw already the installation, guard attachment, installation of this engine guard, we already saw it. And on top comes, in a quite easy installing way, the skid plate, as we will proceed forward in the video. And basically by mounting at the end the skid plate, we finished installing the rally pack.
And now the last part, it's mounting the actual skid plate. First we start with the front part. We have this rubber washer.
Să nu strângi, doar le pui asta.
You just place them in the position. Each rubber washer comes here to protect.
Tot timpul e important să înfiletezi cu mâna, nu cu aparatul sau cu pistol.
It's very important to first tie up with the hand to feel the bolt. All bolts are the same size. 6 bolts to finish tight up the skid plate. E ușor și la schimbarea filtrului, că se dă super ușor, simplu jos. So now we have the picture regarding how easy it's to change the oil filter afterwards. So 6 bolts, you have only to remove the 6 bolts from the skid plate, and then you have easy access to remove the oil filter when you change the oil. Just to check there are no vibrations whatsoever after mounting it. It's important to check it out. No vibration, nothing, everything it's quite strong. And this is it, guys. This is how the rally kit looks installed on the bike. Quick shifter, rally foot pegs, engine protection, skid plate, and also handguards. An impressive 1,400 euros for this rally kit. This is quite a lot, quite expensive. It's up to your decision if you want to mount it or not on the bike. Ce să zic, vă mulțumesc mult de tot. Luckily, from now on, let's say if we are very lucky, I will be able to film for you and to present you all of the maintenance procedures for the new Honda Transalp. I really hope this is a positive beginning for this type of videos. I will try to do my best to guide you, or not to guide you, to show you the main or the most important maintenance procedures for the new Honda Transalp, done by professionals. This is very important. Here at the Honda service by ASKO. I think it's really important to make these procedures have transparency on the service, being able to watch also your bike or to watch the mechanics working on your bike. This is the approach for the customers. Full transparency. You can watch everything which is done to your bike, and I think this is the future for a proper customer service. Here at the motorcycle service, a good service or a bad service can make a huge difference between life and death, you know. On a motorcycle, a bad service or something which is not done properly can really impact your life, you know. So I think when you compare it with a car, the service done on a motorcycle can really make a difference between life and death. So I highly recommend, whatever you try to do it by yourself, please instruct yourself or make sure these procedures are done by a qualified personnel.